today, and I felt like this looked pretty good, so I'm just gonna leave it. Y'all get this Bodhi this evening. I was just waiting for someone to come to my door. Thankfully, they did not. But I already have the candle going. I have everything ready and set up. So we're gonna do some wax readings tonight. I didn't realize that it has been almost a year since I've done these. It has been almost a year since I've done wax readings. For those of you guys that have never watched me do wax readings, it simply is the act of hot wax in water and reading everything out of it. I did forget my glasses downstairs, but that's all right. So Hali Stanford is first. We're just going to get right into it. So what's really interesting about this, Hali, the very first thing that I see here, it almost looks like a rib cage, but then this part right here looks like intestines. So I'm unsure if you've been sick lately, but I know that everybody has. I'm going to advise you to do this. Really pay attention. I don't know if you have chronic illnesses or if you have a chronic condition. And normally I don't speak a lot on health conditions, but this to me looks like you may need to make sure that you have a physical. Be really, really careful. The way that this is curling in on itself, I'm going to say that you absolutely have someone that is wishing you ill right now. I would bet that this has something to do with career, with work. I'm trying to turn it over so I can see it. Yes. Okay. This is somebody that is not wanting you to be somewhere, whether this is work or whether this is a family function, something. This is, there's a hole in the bottom of it back here, like a loop. They're trying to do everything they can in their power that they know of to cause you to be sick, So they're speaking ill against you. They're hoping you'll get sick. They're trying to make you late. They're trying to have other things happen and block you from being somewhere. Like I said, I feel like this is something with work because this is someone trying to sabotage you from the inside out. Pay really close attention to the people lately that have been super, super eager to help you with stuff, super eager to be around you, to be your friend, to learn things, etc. Be very, very careful of the person that is overzealously trying to be your friend. They aren't. They aren't. They have ulterior motives. They want something that is yours. It's not even just that they're jealous. They want it, and they're doing whatever they can to actively get it from you. If they can get you fired, if they can, you know, make it to where you don't hang out with your other friends, or they're doing something on purpose to make you lose, to make you less than, to make you lose. There's other people that know about this too. I'm going to say there's at least 3 or 4 people that know about this. A couple of them have said that's probably not nice. It's not the right thing to do. Thank you, Jacob. That, yeah, they're still doing it. Even though they've had people say, that's not cool. Don't do that. There's also an area here that looks like a buzzard. It looks like a vulture. Vultures are messengers from the underworld, from beyond. So you have somebody that's also on your spirit team, or somebody that you knew, like a loved one that's passed away, that's doing everything they can to try to get this warning to you as well. So pay attention when you see vultures or buzzards around, because, and what's funny is you'll probably start seeing them on social media now that I've said that. take care of your health, take care of you. Like, go get a physical. Don't tell anybody you're going, okay? Just go get a physical, go get checked out, you know what I mean? Do all of that stuff. And then take all the precautions so you're not around people that are sick. But like I said, pay very, very close attention to this person who is trying to be your friend all the time. They're like overzealously trying to be your friend, because they are not. They are not. In any way, shape, or form. They are not your friend. All right. Jacob is next. So my first few on my list are Hali, who I just did, Jacob, Lesa, Heidi, Sammie, and Joy. Those are my first few. And then I will update the order in just a second. Ready, Jacob? It's funny, over here it looks like a lasso, and over here it looks like a bind rune. So let's talk about this lasso first, because this is the first thing I saw. I didn't mean to pop it that hard. I was just trying to get it completely cooled off. Let's talk about that, because it's the first thing I saw. Don't be afraid to go after what you feel should be in your corner, whether it's a job, whether it's friends, whether it's a group project or research, whatever it is. Don't be afraid to actively go after something that benefits you. Even if you feel like it falls short a little bit, I promise you it's going to lasso exactly what it is that you need to have. This binder over here is interesting because it looks like it's a mix. It's got a flat top. It looks like it's a mix of Greek and Norse at the same time. And it's got like a tail that comes down into this binder up here. Oh, that's better. I would say that you have a deity on each side walking you along a path. Two very, very strong masculine deities, one on your left, one on your right. One is Greek, one is Norse, that are trying to walk you along and make sure that the places where your feet are falling are the correct places. When I turn this over here is really interesting, and it looks like a woman in a longer, she's got a long skirt on. This lady also has really dark hair. This is not a love interest, but this is somebody very, very important to your future, like moving forward. So I don't know if this is an advisor, if this is a potential boss, if this is a professor, whatever. I don't know who this is, but she wears a lot of very long skirts. She has really long, almost stick straight dark hair. And she has some tie in with these deities. So her name, something in her office, etc. There's a tie-in with either Greek gods or Norse gods, or possibly both. But I have a feeling it's something to do with her name. I wish I had my markers out so I could draw this binder, but I'm going to leave it. I'm actually going to pull it out and put it somewhere else, and then I will doodle this for you here in a minute. Because it's a very interesting looking bind rune. Also pay really close attention to spiders that are around you. Spiders represent the pathway unfolding. Spiders represent change. They represent all kinds of shit. Doesn't mean you have to go out and get one as a pet. Doesn't mean you have to let them all live in your house, but pay attention when they show up. Whether it's a sticker, whether it's an actual spider, whether it's just a piece of art, whatever it is, pay attention to that, because those are also being sent your way. You have a lot of things. I like this music and I don't like it at the same time, so we're going to go back to this one. You have a lot of beings of things that are making sure that you stay on this path. Does that make sense? They have a lot of things that they're putting in to keep you on this trajectory that you're on. But I'll doodle this for you. I'll doodle this for you and send it to you, because it's very obviously an interesting rune. You can see it from that way too. I'm trying to hold this where you can see the lady. So I put that very carefully right there. So yeah, I'll make sure you get that. Okay. But pay very close attention for this woman, because like I said, she has something to do with these deities. She has a tie to these deities. Okay. Got these little pieces of wax out. Letting some more wax build up on the candle over there. So I'm using a Waking the Dead candle. One of the last ones I had stashed away here in my office. All right, Miss Lesa G, you're next. I'm not going to look at comments a crazy lot, because I want to get through these so y'all aren't waiting a crazy amount. Yeah. Ready, Miss Lesa? You have simultaneously a trumpet and a tornado. Okay. And a pheasant. See, we got this little thing out at the top. All right, so the trumpet usually signifies news coming your way. So I don't know if there's something you're waiting on, if there's something that you've been waiting to hear about, but expect that news coming up probably this week. The tornado is interesting because a tornado signifies a massive change. It's chaos. And I don't know if this has to do with this news or not, but I have a feeling that it does. So don't be surprised if this news brings about this massive agent of chaos. I'm really, really interested in the fact that there's a pheasant with its little everything. Its little, not a pheasant, a quail. I'm so sorry. I was like, that is wrong, because a pheasant doesn't. It's a quail with the cute little top knot. I actually have no idea what quail are for spiritually, so I'm going to advise you to look up what the spiritual meaning of a quail is. There's also an hourglass here. You are running out of time to make a decision. It's funny, when I turn it sideways, there's a piece that comes up from the hourglass. So it's like there's been a pause in this. I don't know what this decision is that you've had it on the back burner. But now, right now in this moment, know that that hold that you had put on that decision, it's about to be lifted, and that timer is going to start running out again. So this is kind of like the universe giving you fair warning, like, hey, go ahead and make this decision one way or the other, because if you allow it to just kind of run its course, you're not going to like the outcome. Turn you over, little quail. It's funny, it does not want to turn over. It's interesting. There's like a heartbeat. You know, when you see people that do the tattoos with like the heartbeat thing, there's literally one right here. Pay attention to the things that are very close to your heart and make sure that you have your protections in place for them. Because I have a feeling with this tornado, this crazy change that's coming, it's going to affect everybody, not just you. I don't feel like it's a bad thing, but I feel like it's going to be a big enough change that the people around you are they're going to freak out a little bit. So you being able to have that nice, calm, strong exterior and say, hey, look, this is the decision I made, this is what I'm doing, or this is what we're doing, or whatever, that's going to help to calm this anxiety down a little bit, okay? Use the quail as your totem animal for a little bit. Like that was super, super clear how it popped up. And when I pick it up, you can't see it as well because the little thing came off of it, but see if I can hold it up where you can see the little heartbeat. See it? Like a perfect little. You have one. What, a quail? A tattoo of a heartbeat. Does it look a lot like that one? Because that one, it had like a straight line, it went up a little bit, down, and then back up big and over. Was that it? Because that's funny. I would laugh my ass off. Yes. Well, being that almost matched exactly with your tattoo, I would remind yourself what you got that tattoo for. Why you have that specific heartbeat. So, you're welcome. Was that some of the answers that you needed? Miss Heidi Gilbert is next. You're welcome. Ooh, Heidi, running down the side of my desk there. There's a little octopus. It's funny, it looks like an octopus up here, but the shadow looks like an airplane. And there's hot wax all over my desk now. That's fun. Let's go ahead and get that off there. The octopus immediately ran over to this one. I'm just trying to see the bottom of it. Okay, there we go. Because this was a very interesting, where it ran down the candle and down the side of the bowl. There's a little flame on the end of it. So it looks like, when I look at it one way, it looks like a comet. Like it looks like a comet with the tail. But another way, it actually has a doorway. It has a doorway on it, like a little gateway. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. It has a little gateway, but when you look at it like this, it looks like a comet with the tail. It also looks like a fish, but I find it interesting that it has a gateway, because comets are, I'm going to say it this way, and I hope you guys understand. Comets are an opportunity that only come around once in a while. Sometimes it's once in a lifetime, sometimes it's once a decade, whatever. But a comet represents an opportunity, a very fast flying opportunity. The fact that it has a gateway on it. When this opportunity pops up, you're not going to have a lot of time to think and consider. It's going to be a like going once, going twice. You're going to have to make a decision right then. It's funny when this is turning around in the water, it looks like an 8, like an infinity symbol underneath. You've been asking for a change. You've been asking for a shift. You've been asking for a gateway, a portal to something more. So when this opportunity pops up, I'm going to advise you to take it because it's not going to come around again. The octopus is interesting over here. Once I separated them, it hasn't come back. I know that octopi are extremely intelligent. They're extremely intelligent. They also know how to mimic things expertly. So pay attention to the people around you that you consider as being very smart, as being very intelligent. The people that are very smart and very intelligent around you. Pay attention to what they're doing. Pay attention to what they're saying. Pay attention to the things that they're the way that they're living their life, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Just pay attention to them. Even if it's somebody, you know, that you follow, you know, like I love Neil deGrasse Tyson. So, you know, I pay attention to the things that he does. Pay attention to those kinds of things because this is someone right here that you consider very intelligent. 100% take that gateway when it comes, my friend. Hold on to that comment and walk through that gateway. Like that's awesome. That's awesome. I always hate like putting them down because I'm always afraid they're going to break, and I'm like it's just wax. I was going to try to hold the octopus up and see if I could show you. See? It's like a perfect little octopus. A perfect little octopus. It's so funny. Yeah, don't be afraid of the gateway. Don't be afraid of that portal. It will lead you where you're supposed to go. Okay? Jamie McCauley, Sammie McCauley. Why did I say Jamie? There's not even a J, but oh well, Joy is down there. Maybe my brain went the blah. All right. Ready, Sammie? Yours was interesting. It went down and came over and then back up and around. This is you reconnecting with something, with someone. This is you reconnecting with someone. Now, here's the thing. This reconnection is going to take a little bit. It's going to take a lot bit, okay? It's going to take a lot. It's going to be something that both of you want, but there's a lot of differences between you two. Well, on the surface, there's a lot of differences. I don't know. There's a C here. There's a lot of twists and turns. There's a lot of twisted emotions, etc. keep in mind that just like you've been a lot of places before they came back in your vicinity, they've been a lot of places before you came back in their vicinity. So be patient. Okay? Be patient. Them coming back into your life in whatever capacity this is, you're going to want to rush. You're going to want to rush and be, friends, family, whatever. You're going to want to rush this, but both of you have been a lot of places. So be really careful. Be really careful how much you rush into things. In fact, when you feel like you're starting to rush, back up a little bit. There's a lot of intricacies with this. See all the little tiny lines? There's a lot of intricacies with it. But overall, when this came back together, that's where this big, huge part is right here. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Work through all of these little things. It's so interesting. There's like a hummingbird. There's the letter C. There's a sparrow. I lied. It's a peacock. I didn't see the tail. There's a peacock. So one of you is the hummingbird and one of you is the peacock. There's a lot of moving parts with this, but just know that by taking your time and going slow and paying attention, when the two of you finally get on the same board, this is something that's not going to be easily broken. It's something that's not going to be easily broken. Does that make sense, Sammie? But the peacock and the hummingbird are going to make themselves very, very obvious in this. Okay? Like extremely, extremely obvious in this. Okay? To be honest, I don't really think that this is a romantic relationship. Okay? I think that this is either a friend or like a family member, an estranged family member, maybe someone you haven't talked to in a couple of years. But this, I don't feel like this is a romantic relationship. That's why I didn't say anything about it being that kind of relationship. I really, really think that this is a friend. Okay? Like someone that you lost contact with. Maybe the two of you had a disagreement or a falling out. And to be honest, I really think that the hummingbird represents you, and I think the peacock represents this other person. With you being the one that is kind of the, everywhere all at once, can't really sit still, but also a little nervous to get back, to get back into a friendship or get to know somebody. The peacock is somebody that kind of comes on strong and, they show out and they show off, but in the end, in the evening, they're very, and at night, when everything calms down, they're very calm. Okay. So I don't think it's a love relationship. This is more like a friend. Okay. All right, Joy, are you ready? Yours has a big bubble that popped up in it. You're protecting someone right now. Really hardcore protecting someone. This could also be you. Are you here by chance, Joy? There you are. This is going to sound really weird, but do you know someone named Zach? Left them behind when you got sober. Okay. Oh shoot, I just fucked it up. Hold please, hold please. Why are you doing what you're doing right now? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, there we go. Is that who you're protecting yourself against? There's like a boa constrictor right here. Boa constrictors are notorious for squeezing the life out of something or someone. And it's like it goes all around, but it doesn't come up to this bubble. I would not be surprised if this person reaches back out to you. I wouldn't, because that was, I mean, it's hard to see now that it's cooled, but the reason that I got the name Zach is, and I'm hoping that it shows, there's actually a Z right here and then an A. And then this to me looked like a C. That's why I was like, who the hell is Zach? I would not be surprised if they reach out to you, but here's the thing. I don't think that they're reaching out to you for anything nefarious. I think that they're reaching out to you because I know that in some rehabilitation groups and so on, they make you apologize. And I would not be surprised if he reaches out to apologize to you. There's also a woman's face here, and she has a very sharp nose, like a I have a friend who's Greek who has a very, very big sharp nose. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but this woman has a very sharp nose. I don't know who she is, but it's almost like she watches over you. Because she's on the other side looking around at this boa constrictor, at this snake. I almost feel like this is somebody that is no longer here. Like a grandma, an aunt, etc. I don't know who this is. But she's keeping an eye on everything. She's someone that was kind of instrumental in helping you see what you needed to see to change. I love the fact, though, that the snake is all around this bubble. The bubble is still fine, that she's looking in around on the bubble, and she's also looking in, and the snake is leaving as she's looking in. The other thing that I want to say about the snake, because the snake also represents change, rebirth. You've gone through a massive shift and a massive change, and now this rebirth, this shift, it's over. Okay, it's over. Does that make sense? It would make sense as my grandma, it's close to, is it anniversary, close to an anniversary date for her? Whatever this big shift and change was that you went through, it's finished. You have completely shed that skin, and now you are something more. So congratulations. Congratulations. Because when you go through a snake type rebirth like that, it sucks, man. It's hard. It's hard. So congratulations. Congratulations. Okay? But keep in mind that if this person reaches out to you, it's because they're trying to apologize. Whether it's sincere or not, I can't speak to that, but they are going to probably reach out to you and apologize. Okay? And she's still watching. She's still watching. She's still right there. I hope that helps. And I want to say again, congratulations, and I'm proud of you. All right. Bob, you're next. So I have Bob, Michelle, Greta, Brett, Lenzie, Cami. Is it Kimmy? Cami? Is that right? Or is it Kame? Olivia, Sharon, and Denise. Oh, I'm on Bob, not Michelle. There's Bob. What's up, Bob? Kame. Okay, thank you. I was like, which one is it? All right. Ooh, that's a lot. Okay. Well, there's a corkscrew down the middle. So it simultaneously looks like a corkscrew because there's even the handle at the top going down into something, you know, a bottle or whatever. But it also at the same time looks like a sprinkler down here spitting stuff out either way. Here's what I'm going to say about this. Don't force the issue. Don't force. It's almost like if you were to take a corkscrew and you were to utilize it on a bottle of wine that already had a very weak neck. Let's just say somehow there are little tiny pinholes in the bottle in this neck, okay? So when you're trying to put the corkscrew in, it's shooting things out the side. So if you're trying to force the issue, it's going to cause a lot of things to shoot out the side and away and never come back in. At the bottom down here is a heart, but it's split in the middle and coming out like this. Whatever this situation is, it's super, super complicated. Because there's also a man's face right here on this side. So this heart is like open, and then it's got stuff coming out and over. There's a man's face over here. There's also a crab right here, which usually represents someone who is a Cancer sign. And there's a whole bunch of things down under as well. One, two, 3. There's like 5 little bubbly areas down under this. I'm going to say that the two of you have probably talked this whole situation out or about this issue until your brains are about to just melt. You're standing really hard and firm on your aspect of it. And so they are seeing you as almost being too cold with it, not having emotions, etc. But when we reach a point where we're done, where we don't want to discuss anything anymore. This is how I feel. You're not helping it. You're not changing it. You're not doing anything. This is how I feel. And it's like the more that they try to talk to you about this situation, the more you're putting your foot down. But at the same time, it's causing a lot of stress on you because you really want to fix the situation. I'm just going to say again, don't force the issue. Okay? Don't force the issue because they're being very, very emotional with it and coming at it from a place of hurt, anger, emotion, passion. Like they've got all of these really intense, strong emotions, and you've put your foot down and you're not talking about it anymore. You're not willing to look at any other point of view. Just be really, really careful, okay? Be really, really careful because both of you are right and both of you are wrong. Does that make sense? You're right in the way that you feel and in the way that y'all have talked till you're blue in the face and you feel like nothing is getting done. They're right in that they feel like there's still a lot more that they need to say. And so the part of you that kind of is wrong right now is by not being willing to listen to anything they have to say. But the part of them that's wrong is they are kind of refusing to look past that wall. I'm glad this is making sense. I'm glad this is making sense. But I'm going to say just kind of back up a little bit and take your hands off the issue and just listen. Just listen. I'm not saying agree. I'm not saying give in. Just listen, okay? Because what they're saying is only overshadowed by what they're not saying. Everything that they're not talking about, they're not discussing, is going to be so much louder than the things that are coming out of their mouth. I'm just curious, is this person a Cancer since there's a cute little crabby crab right there? I don't know if when I pick this up, I think his little pincer is going to come off. Oh, his whole head came apart. All right. So I'll show you what I'm talking about with the corkscrew. See the corkscrew down the middle? And see the heart here at the bottom? So this part came off into this. And there is a man's face right there. Your husband is a Cancer. Okay. So this made a lot of sense then. I'm glad that the Cancer made a lot of sense, because that was a perfect little crab with one pincer up like that. Just when I moved him, his pincer came off. So, yeah. Good. I'm glad that this made sense. I'm glad that this made sense. All right. Michelle G, you're next, love. You're so welcome, Bob. So funny. There's a woman dancing. So on one side, it looks like a woman dancing, like absolutely just, and it's not just letting go and just dancing. This is a choreographed dance. But on the other side, there's all of these things that are kind of roped around and holding her back underneath. And then the shadow of it looks like a bee. Stop allowing people to cut you off of your work ethic, your work, your job, your career, the things that you love, your hobbies, etc. This is all who you are. Bees represent hard work. They represent the soul. They represent a deep passion for something, and they represent never stopping. They represent like go, 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 go. So to see that the shadow of this shape is a bee, and there's all these things tying you up under here, but on the top is this woman just doing a choreographed dance, like her legs coming out here, one leg's back here. Like it's really interesting the way it's shaped. This rope is coming around and it's starting to try to weasel on the front. Whoever this is that is trying to make you stop, it's trying to make you stop dancing, stop working, stop doing the things that make you you. When I flipped it back over, there's now an open spot right there, and there's a person there and a person there, and it's like they're looking eye to eye, their noses are touching. They think that they're doing this out of love. Okay? They think that they're doing this out of love. I think seeing the shadow, like on one side when I'm looking at the woman dancing, it's a bee. On this other side though, it looks like a woman in a dress and then a man, you know, like you would see on top of a wedding cake. And they're nose to nose, like she's even got something pretty in her hair. Like it's really, really an interesting shadow. He still sees you as that person. He still sees you as, I don't want to say his, but it's the only way I can think to say it. He still sees you as, he still loves you. He still loves you. There's still feelings there. So what I'm going to say about it is be careful, because with him still having those feelings, and that's what's drawing a lot of this behavior to be what it's become lately. If you sink back into that feeling, that rope tightens. He feels like he's doing it out of love to protect you, but it's not. It's a stifling thing. So continue to be the bee. Continue to do everything that you are doing. Continue to be happy. Continue to move, to shift, to change. Continue to do all of the things that make you you. And don't let this rope swing back in. So me moving out was a good thing. I would say yes. You being free is what is making the rope loosen. He still sees you as together. He still sees you as his, for lack of a better term. I'm not saying that this may not work in the future, but right now, it's not what's best for you. It's not what's best for you. Your ex-husband was smothering you. I mean, let me see if I can hold this up where you can see it. So on this side, like there's a leg, there's an arm, like there's a woman dancing, okay? And you can see the rope coming around right there. But on this side, you can actually start to see all the ropes underneath and all the ropes back here that were holding you down. So just be careful. I'm not saying that it may not work out in the future, but right now you need to continue working and doing the things that make you you. Okay? I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad you're happy. Congratulations. I heard a quote earlier that caught me, and it was kind of interesting. And the guy said, I was watching The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. If y'all have not ever watched that movie, it's from 2004. You should. You really should. But in it, he says, I'd rather be happy than knowledgeable. And I kind of agree with that sometimes. Sometimes. Go be happy. All right. Greta, you ready? Greta, are you an artist? Yeah, I love The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I started to watch it the other day, and Kirsten was like, anyone watch it? So I waited till she was at her dad's. Do you do abstract art? Specifically with faces? Very oblong, interesting types of faces? What this tells me, you haven't in a long time. Okay. What this tells me is there's a new idea that's been kind of spinning around in your head a little bit that involves taking some of these faces, or maybe this is the spur of it. I don't know. It involves taking some of these faces and turning them into a completely new type of abstract format. Even your wax looks like a piece of art. I'm gonna show you. I'm waiting for it to cool off so I can show you. Okay. So when I'm looking at it from the top, it looks like this, okay? It legit looks like this crazy, long, elongated face right here. See the nose and so on. But when it's like this, it looks like a sculpture. Like it legit looks like a sculpture, with the face as the centerpiece, Like you can even see the nose. You can see the nose sticking up. I would highly, highly advise you to pull out or look at some of your old artwork where you have this elongated face and make a move to couple it with the new techniques that you've learned and that you've mastered. Because even your wax, even your wax looks like a work of art. And when it's spinning down in the water, it'll like one way it looks like a butterfly, and then this way it looks like a ballerina, and then this way it looks like a sundial almost. You're entering such a creative phase. I think that 2025 is going to be a year that artwork that you produce is going to be epic. It's going to be amazing. But I'm going to advise you to look back through a lot of your very first pieces, your old pieces. You see things in such a unique way. You see things in such a different way. Interesting elongated faces and arms and lines, and I'm also going to advise you this. I don't know if you've ever, or if you just haven't done them in a while, some of the local art shows around you. And I don't mean like, just some pop-up art show somewhere. Enter some of these new pieces in big, massive shows around you. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. But the new pieces that you're working on, that you're creating, 100% put them in some of these big art shows. Love. These are great. I don't even think you realize how cool some of the pieces are that you've been creating. And I almost feel like either somebody has said something to you, or you've just gotten in your head about it to where you've been having a problem creating lately. Or you've been trying to recreate the same type of thing over and over and over. Whatever this is that's gotten you, that's got you kind of just knocked down, where you don't want to create, where you don't want to do things, I think that that's over. I think that that's 100% over. Stop stressing about if your artwork is good, because it's great. It's great. I would actually love to see some of it. I would love to see some of it. I know that there is someone that's behind. Why I'm itching right there, I don't know. I'm trying not to like scratch my makeup. I know that there's someone behind both you getting into creating art and then you stopping creating art. I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. Here's what I would do if it were me. I would have a jar. And I would make this a symbolic thing. When you sit down to create art, the person that has been like poo-pooing your art, that has made that one little comment that's got you upset and not wanting to create, I would literally write their name on a piece of paper or get a photo of them, and I would just very nicely put them in the jar, like a mason jar, whatever, and put the lid on it. And that's where they need to stay while you're creating artwork. Is your dream, is your goal to be a large scale artist, like very large pieces? Like, I can't talk about this enough. It's crazy. And I have a feeling that you wanted to hear about something else, and this is kind of off the radar, but this needs to be the focus. Yes, it has been, but it's been something that I've always put in the back burner. I love that you said that as I was saying, this needs to be your focus. Like, this needs to be your focus. Not this person, not the situation with them, not anything at all. This artwork that you're about to create this year, this needs to be your focus. Everything else needs to be on the back burner for once. Does that make sense? Greta W. Go back and look at some of your original pieces and incorporate some of those ideas into now. Thank you for that. All right, Brett, are you ready? I usually don't like manipulating candles, but like when I do, especially if I'm using it for something like this, it reminds me when I was a little kid, you know, when you hold the lighter up so the candle will leak down the side. You're so welcome, Greta. All right, Brett. So the very first thing I saw, it's interesting. It has, we'll talk about this in a minute, but it has this thing that came out of the side, but the shadow looks like a hornet. It looks like a wasp. When it's turned that way, it looked like a wasp. This way, I'm looking at the shadow first, because this, when I'm looking at this is like, I'm going to say that this is probably you looking down at something. You've got somebody that's parasitic around you. You've got someone around you that you're having to handle with kid gloves. Like you're having words. It's almost like you're forced to take care of them. They act very, very childish, and so you have to walk on eggshells. You have to handle them with kid gloves. But in reality, like when I look at this way with the shadow, they are 100% feeding off of you. I don't know if this is feeding off your energy, feeding off your kindness, feeding off your money. I don't know what this is, but whoever this is, I swear to fuck, if you don't cut this person off, it's like they're using you for either who you are or they're getting something free for, I don't know what this is. Thank you for that gift. I appreciate it. I don't know what this is, but they're doing everything they can. It's like the more they can keep you off kilter, the more they can keep you focused on them, the more they can siphon off of you. Does that make sense? But I don't like that when this was first being poured and getting in the water, that looked like a wasp with a massive fucking stinger. I don't like that a lot. I don't like that a lot. What they're siphoning off of you, they're using to feed someone else. It's weird. I was waiting to see your comment, Brett. To be honest, when I was holding that up, There's like a loop behind it. So it's like they're siphoning stuff off of you and they're feeding it to someone else. And it's like they're trying to get this loop and almost be in competition with you by learning what you're doing. It's the weirdest fucking thing. I mean, bitches be bitches, but this is like a whole other level of bitch. Here's what I'm gonna advise, Brett. Make sure that you have copyright clauses. Make sure that you have people that are working for you signing NDAs. Make sure that you have all of your bases covered. If you have an LLC, look at your state with trademarking your name, with trademarking or patenting practices, whatever it is, okay? I would make sure, thank you, Miss Eunice, that I would make sure that you're cover your ass with everything, because whoever this person is, they are trying to siphon business off of you as well. I've been feeling a little jarsy lately. I'm just saying. Fuck this person, man. They're super pretending to be your friend and they're not. And they're not. Okay? I don't know if Brett was here or if he came in and out or whatever, but see the loop back here? See the person and the little person down here siphoning off? I don't like it. I don't like it. Don't make me come over there. Don't make me come over there. Just saying. Apparently, my website decided it wanted to refresh itself. Thank you, Miss Eunice. All right, there we go. All right. Lenzie, you're next. Ready? So this actually kind of looks like a woman weeping. So I'm going to talk about the wax, and then we're going to talk about the shadow. So the wax looks like a woman kind of bent over weeping. But it's like she's losing so much with this sorrow. She's letting all of her energy out with this for some reason. I don't know if this is you, if you're going through something really hard right now, or if it's somebody around you, but this sadness is literally pulling everything out of her. But what's funny is the shadow looks like a cicada shell. It also, in a way, looks like something like blowing up a balloon. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So, I mean, that's pretty fucking clear. Can you see the other piece coming down? It's like a woman weeping. And there we go. You can see these pieces coming down and back around. On the back, it's even looping in. I'm going to say this, and I know that sometimes this is easier said than done when it comes to grief. You have to keep your chin up. You have to keep your chin up. The person that left, the person that you lost, whether this is, you know, you broke up with someone, or you're no longer friends with this person, or whether they passed away. I know that some people are like, yeah, I want them to pine over me or whatever, but they really don't. Deep down inside, everybody just wants the other person to be happy. When someone passes away, they wouldn't want you sitting there being upset forever. They wouldn't want you sitting there being sad forever. The next thing I'm going to say is going to sound really, really mean, but it's not meant that way. It's meant to make you think. And I don't, now I feel like I'm being mean on purpose, and I'm not. When you pass away, let's say that Susan over here, Susan passes away. Okay? Susan's family is going to be devastated for a while. Her friends, her very close friends, devastated. Acquaintances, really sad. Other people that she just kind of knew, really sad, right? But eventually they have to continue living and continue moving forward and being who they're supposed to be. And after years, that hole, it's still there, but it's like the edges soften. You can't allow grief to completely engulf you like this. You can't allow grief to be siphoning everything out of you and taking it somewhere else, because it's just going to come right back around. I'm not saying don't feel sad. I'm not saying don't feel that grief, because if you just shove it down, that doesn't help either. But Lenzie,